on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope. I think one more place that I'm forgetting. My name is Frank Lavinia, and this is Data Driven. Let's roll the intro. All right, so as you know, I do love myself some good motion graphics. Let me adjust the desk and the table. As you can tell, I am rocking my new T-shirt, Datalorian. You can definitely check it out on our, if you go to datadriven.tv, click on T-shirts. It's one of the new designs. I am very proud of it. We're going to maybe expand on that a bit. Have maybe some lone stranger checking out your SSIS packages while it rescues baby Andy. Who knows? Actually, I got that idea off Twitter, baby Andy. I'll be Quill, and I'll say I have spoken. All right. So today I want to talk about something that is very much on the mind. Obviously, geopolitics are kind of at issue here of late, but I'm not going to talk about that per se. But one of the big things that's come up, and this is going to be more like a data point episode, if you will. One of the more interesting things that's come up here is the notion of China and the United States being kind of these two competing AI superpowers. Now, this is a graphic that I generated in Excel, and if you're interested, I will definitely go through how I created that here. Talk about China and the US, but they're missing a clear player. I mean, if you look at this, so where I'm getting this data from was Suraj Raval was an influencer. He had a bit of a fall from grace, but when he created the AI school, he basically put out this open call for anyone to create kind of a chapter of the school, a local chapter of the school. And I was one of the founders of the AI school here in the DC area. And I took all the raw data from the list that they had and basically took the cities here that were there. And I used Excel. Oops. Help if I showed that. I used Excel. Oops. To took all the dump of this, create a CSV of all the places where this was. And some of these are kind of parodies, but the data wasn't great, but I was able to create a 3D map or a map here. And if you didn't know, this has been in Excel since version 2016. And ultimately, what I produced was a map that showed kind of hotspots and kind of showed where these maps were. Now, there's all sorts of fancy stuff you can do with 3D maps, but that's not the point here. The point here is just take a look at the data. Oops. There we go. Move it down the screen. Oh, this is going to be fun to edit. So looking at the world, you can kind of see what particular region has a lot of hotspots. Not surprisingly, the West Coast of the United States, Northeast, some bits there. But again, this was some time ago. I'm not sure what happened to the School of AI since Suraj left, but you'll notice that among kind of the current kind of technology hotspots, Silicon Valley, Northeast US, you see pockets in Europe. But look at this. The country of India is pretty much filled up. I mean, it's not just, it's just, to me, if you step back and you kind of look at countries in terms of saturation, it's probably the most saturated. So what this means is that he had more chapters. Well, maybe not more chapters in India than anywhere else, but certainly in terms of coverage, right? If this was a cell phone map, of coverage, then clearly there's there's something, I think, telling the data. So I think, and I recently saw an article about this that I'll post in the show notes. Anyone talking about the U.S. versus China in as kind of the leaders in AI, I think really needs to reinvestigate their data, because they're leaving out at least one key player in this industry. I mean, India is huge. I mean, in terms of this. Now, I know this isn't exactly a mapping thing, but let's project it forward. Suraj Raval, despite the plagiarism scandal, he did inspire a lot of people, including myself. And for every person inspired, or every 100 people inspired, one or two of those folks are going to start a company one of these days. One or two of those folks that did start a company may make the next Facebook, may make the next Uber. That's my point here. Is take a look at the map, and you'll see that there's definitely a key player in this country or that country type discussion that's being left out of the equation. Zooming in further, you'll see obviously there's a hot startup scene in Israel. It looks like Germany has a lot, the UK, Ireland has a couple of spots, but in terms of kind of the just the sheer coverage of the nation, I mean, that's can't even see the borders, right? Because it's all colored in with dots of that represent places. So I mean, I don't know. I think this is it's definitely worth talking about. So let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe I'll make this a full-on episode. I'm not sure yet. Definitely, I probably should have loaded up on caffeine because it's been a long day. The my one of my kids got sick today, so of course everybody's freaking out because he has a fever and COVID. Such is the life during a pandemic. But I also shared this image here on LinkedIn where, I mean, oops, where do I show it? I mean, look at that. I mean, it's very clearly a I think a statement of how much power or potential power, brain power is in there, right? Now, not sure why there's not been a lot of chapters in China. Who knows? But I mean, I think if you look at this map, you are forgetting at least 1/3 of the equation for sure, possibly more. So I think that the whole key here is the notion that innovation can happen anywhere, not just in the West Coast of the U.S., not just in the Northeast of the United States, not just in the existing kind of startup capitals of the world, but with the internet and remote learning, anyone can get access to information. And once they have that access to the information, their potential to grow and build from that, well, I mean, that's just enormous. So with that, I will end the data-driven portion of the show. But I would just say that I don't know what I was going to say. I'm sorry. This is the advantages of live recording. Hopefully you're doing well. Let me put myself back on the thing. Probably should introduce myself. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this, by the way, I see that there are some folks online watching this. Not getting the comments feed in. Obviously, there's some glitches in the matrix today. But I do have an interesting project that I'm working on, and I don't think I can show it right now. But hopefully later today, I'll be able to do a live stream with it. If you like the T-shirt, you can check it out on datadriven.tv, and you can check it out. You can order it. It's on the UK store and the US store. A couple of different clothing options it's available on, and yeah, that's all I got. I totally should have caffeinated up, but I mean, the key takeaway here is that if you just think about the AI kind of powers, if you will, as just United States and China, you are missing a big chunk of the picture, particularly India. That's it. That's all. That's my takeout. That's my takeaway. I actually did reach out to Suraj Raval because I wanted to interview him for a podcast and kind of get what he says, but I haven't heard from him yet. So who knows if he'll respond to my emails. All right. So with that, I had to take the little one to the doctor. Hopefully he'll feel well. Hopefully it's not COVID. That would be horrible. But with that, you have a great night. Oops.